So here we have our cutout that was just sent over. We produced it in Silhouette Studios, and we sent it through email, and I sent it through the Silhouette cutter myself. And this way I could inspect it, make sure it's good. And as you can tell, it says Thomas and there's a Camaro. What we're going to do is we are going to pull away what needs to get sandblasted. So we're going to pull out the letters, and a huge thing is we're going to make sure that we leave the insides of the A's, O's, P's, B's, any of those types of things, letters, and make sure they stay in place. If they come out, you will see an indent where the cutout was, so you can take it out, put it right back in. If you lose it, you take a piece of scrap. Remember, it doesn't matter what color we're using, because this is going to get all sandblasted and pulled away. So when it comes to the car, we have to make sure that we peel away just what is necessary so that we know this is a Camaro. So we're going to peel out the rear fender, pull it up, and we're going to leave the windshields, the windows, and we'll see what comes up. So this is going to come all the way around. It's going to leave these details of the hood on there. It's going to leave the grille on there, which is exclusive to Camaro with that point in the middle. And we're going to leave the inlets. It looks like the bumper's going to come off. So I'm going to reset the camera so that we can see it from an angle as I peel it. Okay, so some tools that we have to offer is the hook tool and the X-Acto knife. So this is the cap on. We keep the cap on so we don't get cut. And there's it without the cap. This is my favorite way to do this. This is the Silhouette tools that they give you. If you take the hook and you push the letters where they're cut, they start to separate. And what I suggest you do is you pull on it and get it under there, have it stick to the tool, and gently pull it out. And you keep going. Remember, we want to pull this out without separating that center. So if you go to do this and it's stubborn and it wants to come out and you're afraid it's going to come out, take yourself a pencil, hold it down just in case, and then peel up and around. And since now it's working, we're going to hook it, and we should be able to get this out. Okay, so we can keep going. The next thing is, if we're using this X-Acto knife, this is my preference, because I can easily scroll this down so you can see the reflection. I can easily hook onto the plastic or the vinyl and pull up, and same thing. Now I'm watching the letters come up, the pieces come up, and I have to get a pencil there because it looks like my fender stickers are coming off. And this one's a little tricky for this size. It is really delicate. So I'm going to do it little by little, and the windows just came up. Let's get my pencil, push down on those windows as we lift up. The tricky thing is, as I'm lifting, the mirror is pulling the window up. So this little strand here is going to come off. I'll break it for now. We'll keep the window down. At this point I could use some fingers. And I'm just checking and triple verifying that stuff should stay, stuff should go up. And this window is stubborn. This is why the knife is really good, because I can cut it. Some seats separating there. There's a mirror involved in this. So absolutely struggling with this window. That's okay. We're going to leave that just like that and come back to it in a minute, and we will continue to peel. Good, that part's leaving. It's leaving the radiator, the fog light. That's pretty much a Camaro exclusive. So this will keep it looking like a theme of a Camaro. So that part came out great. Now I just have to work on that glass, on the windows. And that part, I will stop videotaping and I'll come back. There we go. We have ourselves our car peeled out. We kept all of our essential pieces in the middle of the letters. We kept our windows. We have the crucial details of what makes a Camaro. We don't need the 5-spoke rims because almost every car is that, but these details work perfect. We have ourselves a little piece that can come out because that's just going to fall off later. We'll just push that to the side. What we need to do is transfer this to our glasses. To do that, we're going to use transfer paper that you can get from me by my desk. And it's clear tape or paper. It looks like a big sheet of tape. So we're going to fix that to the sticker. We're going to squeeze it in so that the sticker sticks to this better than it does the backer. And after that, we are going to peel this off of the backer. So you see the lines have the backer on it. We're going to separate it. You usually can get it with the edge of your fingernail, especially if the transfer paper works well. And once it's separated, you're gonna gently lay it down, and as we roll this over while pushing down, and we roll it back like this, not lifting straight up. You see the letters coming up a little bit? That's okay, we'll push it right back down. That's the S. And then just take our time. If we pull straight up, the sticker will definitely separate.
Mr. Williams, please come to the main office. Mr. Williams.
And now the car pieces are starting to come with the paper. Contact paper might not be the freshest, so it's not adhering as well. The window stayed, that was fantastic. The rims almost came with me. Let's keep going. And then we get to the top. Oops, my O separated. So you can see this is not going to be super easy, but it's very, very doable. Oop, the fog came off. Squish it on down, scratch it so it sticks to the contact paper or transfer paper. And yes, it is contact paper. It's a lot cheaper than what they sell for this product, but there we go. But it's backwards too. So we're going to stick this to a glass in a second. So now we can see everything transferred to the transfer paper from our paper. So now we have just a blank piece. We're going to adhere the sticker to this glass. Now we want to set it up. So we're going to take a sticker and we're going to center it. And it's pretty important that you do this. You center it, and we're going to cup it so that it's opposite the cylinder. So the middle's going to touch first. And we're centering as best we can, and we're going to squeegee the middle first. And then work our way to the left, and a little bit to the right, and a little bit to the left, and a little bit to the right, until we get this to fully set on. So you can't just push it on and squeeze down the middle, because it's cylindrical, so it has to stretch nicely till it gets to the other side. We're going to squeegee it gently on there, and then as soon as you're done, you're going to peel.
Oh.
And there it goes. Here is the car stuck to the glass. My rear window is still giving me an issue. And there we go. So we're going to squeegee this on to make it work. Okay, so we have multiple tools to get this vinyl to stick to the... This is the squeegee that comes with the product. We have some issues. Since we're sticking to glass that we had to wash with Glass Plus, we have some adhesion issues. To get this to stay on perfectly, we need to scrape it on there really well, but we don't want to lose parts. So we're going to put a piece of paper on top, and then we're going to squeegee as hard as we can to get it down. Just like scratch it with your nail if you want. If you want to use that tool, you can. Run out of hands. Or Sharpie seems to work great for me. And then when that's all said and done, or you don't have that, you could roll a Sharpie onto it and squish it onto the glass. This glass is going to get hit with sand particles really hard, so if we don't get these to stick perfectly, they're going to pop off and make it so we can't sandblast as much as we want. So after we get done with that, after we squeegeed all these on, it's pretty good, it's tight, I can touch them, nothing's falling off, but we need to mask and screen this up. So what we're going to do is we're going to use masking tape, but we don't want to use a lot. This is rather expensive and annoying. We're going to do some things with our scrap paper. So this overhang, and then we're going to tape this up for protection, because we really don't need to use 20 pieces of tape to do this, because all of this is protected with just a little piece of paper. Half on the paper. The other half is on the glass. Pretty much all that is covered. Do the same for the top. Lots of scratch paper for doing this. Not double tape, so seal it. Paper's covering it. Alright, so this is pretty much good. We're going to cover these corners a little more tape, and then we need to get the handle. We'll do the handle separate, because that could be one strip of tape over the handle to protect it, because it's only going to get damaged where it gets impacted. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up, cover it up, wrap it around the bottom. And now this corner needs a little bit. Now this is funny good, because we're going to go in there in the spray cabinet, and it's really noisy. And then we're going to sandblast this. And we're going to sandblast this like spray paint. So we're going to go back, forth until we're done. And then we're going to take it, look at it, see if we can see any. It should turn flat or white. And then I take the spray gun and I like to go back and forth, up and down vertically to seal anything off. And then check, make sure. And if all my stickers still on, I'll give it one more pass. Maybe I'll do it diagonally. And I'm going to watch. As soon as I see something fly off, I'm going to stop and end it right there. Great, so we're done sandblasting. We're taking it out of the cabinet by lifting the top. And we're gonna reach in here and you'll notice there's sand on it. So make sure the sand comes off as best you can. And then a lot of it falls in a cup, pour it out here. This gets recycled, gets used over and over again. All right, over here, we're gonna skip the seat. We're gonna go right over to the sink. And here we have our garbage pail sitting there waiting for us, and we're gonna peel off our protective papers. Now the vinyl does not come off so easy. I'm gonna bring it over here because we're gonna put it right into the garbage. So heat is gonna be our friend. We should be able to get a corner and gently peel up. And in, we will see that we have successfully etched in a Camaro. In that sand, I'm going to scratch this outside the glass. It sounds silly, but it's literally sandpaper without the paper. Yep, there we go. It's not release. And then, of course, be careful because the water's going to get hot. The hotter it gets, the faster it pulls off. Rinse it off, get the paper. Get it right here, pull it out, cup off, and then you're going to present this to the teacher. So here's a vision of our glass sandblasted. I did 5 passes, none of the pieces blew off. We have our details we need.